Hello, everyone, and welcome to Savage Talk. This is JT Savage. Today, we are going to talk about the RIPPAVERSE. That's right, the RIPPAVERSE. Have you heard of it? Chances are you probably have by now. The RIPPAVERSE is a new comic book universe created by YouTuber Eric July, better known as Young Rippa 59. I've mentioned him before. In fact, I told you in my last video that his company would be starting on Monday. And boy, did it start. He's been talking about this comic book company for a very long time, and we've all been looking forward to it. We, as in a lot of YouTube creators in the same space that like him, which is hard not to like him, by the way. He's a great creator. In fact, he's one of the people that inspired me to start making content in the first place. So if you haven't checked out Young Rippa 59 by now, you should. And you should definitely check out the RIPPAVERSE at rippaverse.com. But let's talk about the RIPPAVERSE. So he started this out with a campaign goal of $100,000, okay? $100,000, a lot of money. It's a lot of money. More money than I've seen in my lifetime, at any one time. And, well, the haters, because when you do what we do, there's lots of haters. And we talk with a very critical eye on the things that we see. We don't just swallow anything given us. We're not part of the access media. We're not paid or looked favorably upon to give things a good review. Okay, we're not shills. Another word for it. No one's paying us for our opinions. We give our opinions freely and honestly, and that's why people, not so much me. I'm just starting, but people like Rippa, Geeks and Gamers, Nerdrotic, Heel vs. Babyface, all those guys, Yellow Flash, like all these guys, they have huge followings because they tell you how they truly feel about things instead of trying to sell you something that they don't believe in. And a lot of times it's things that we love, like comic books and comic book movies and science fiction movies and things like that, and television shows. And I'm sure if you're watching my channel, you already know that lately a lot of those things have been shit, for lack of a better word. They've been compromised by ideological agendas and woke politics and just all sorts of unsavory things that do not help this genre or industry or however a media grow. Okay, it's just destroying everything that we love. It's destroying all the franchises we love. This is what we talk about all the time. So Eric July, Young Rippa, decided he had enough. But we all decided we had enough, by the way, which is why we make these videos, right? Believe me, we would get way more people following us if we told you that everything was great, like some of these access media guys. I don't want to use their names because, one, they have bigger channels than me, and I don't feel like getting jumped, okay? I'm kidding about being jumped, but you know what I mean. I don't want to deal with the backlash right now because I'm not even a big channel. It's not that I'm afraid of them. It's just I'll save that for when the channel grows. But the point of the matter is these guys love everything that Marvel and Disney and DC put out, and then a lot of them, I can't say for a fact, but it's pretty obvious. A lot of them get paid for their opinions. In one form or another, whether it's access, which is why it's called access media, or money, or direct compensation, who knows. But there's no way that a lot of these channels that are so big get so much access because they believe in what they're saying, because they believe that these shows, and maybe they do believe everything they say, but it's highly unlikely. If they do, they have really bad taste. But it's obvious, it's pretty obvious that they don't believe in everything. So anyway, so people like me and these other guys that I mentioned, we just want to give you honest opinions about the franchises we love that have been compromised, okay? So Eric July took it a step further, okay? Eric July, he has a very well-known channel. He's got at least over 500,000 subscribers, and he's well-known on Blaze TV as well, and for his band. I think it's Backwards or something like that. I forget the name of his band because I still haven't heard the music. But the point is, he's well-known, okay? So he decided to invest his own money into a comic book company, a comic book universe. Okay, so he's not just making a comic book like some of these guys that do fundraising campaigns and all that stuff. No, he is making a whole universe, like Marvel has a Marvel universe, DC has a DC universe. He is making the Rippaverse, and it just came out Monday. Okay, just to give you some background. So he did not use a crowdfunding campaign like a lot of these guys do, which is not a bad thing that they do it. But he wanted to do something different. Okay, so he had enough money, or he waited until he had enough money to fund the whole thing himself. In other words, he prepaid for the website, the people that work on the books, to make the books. Okay, all the books are done, like the artwork, the writing, everything's done. The only thing he's waiting for is for them to be printed. Okay, he didn't go to outside investors. He didn't pay 1 red cent for the advertising for any of these books. Okay, he did all word of mouth from his friends, from people who like him, from other comic book I guess websites that a lot of them are not favorable because they don't want to see him succeed, because he's challenging the shill media companies that we used to love, Marvel and DC. That's why he created this company, because he's tired of them putting out crap and shitting all over all the beloved characters that we grew up on, that they're just making woke and ridiculous now, and making all these different versions of them, like Miles Morales' Thor, and then they make them all ghetto and like really racist, like things, like putting graffiti on the hammer, and it's just ridiculous. All right, so he had enough. He made his own company, the Rippaverse. So you think that's like a modest thing to do? It's a respectable thing, really respectable thing, to create your own company, pay for that shit out of your own pocket. Over $200,000 he invested into his own company, paid for the website. Now, speaking of the website, he said that he was going to have it all ready and like it was going to be able to handle the traffic. I've heard this from the huge companies forever, whenever something big comes out, and to say they can handle the traffic, and nobody can ever handle initial traffic. You just can't. And I'm not blaming him for that. I think I thought when he said it was kind of funny. I'm like, bro, you don't know what you're getting yourself into, because these sites can never handle initial traffic without some sort of a real life test. And the response, if you were in this space of the internet, and you've been listening to the hype behind this, you knew that this was going to be a big thing. You didn't know how big. We didn't know how big. People have speculated. Ethan Van Sciver told him he'd probably hit about 2.5 million. Okay, Ripper put it up as $100,000 campaign goal. Okay, so let's just say it did a little better than that. In the initial, I want to say 27 to 28 hours. Okay, this is how much he's made. Over $1 million, almost $1,200,000. Actually, hold on. Let me refresh the page. Okay. $1,198,000, $877. So he's almost at $1,200,000. So you can see how much he's gone over the goal, right? 100,000. He's almost got that, plus $1,100,000, and he still has. You can't see it there for whatever reason. I don't know if they took it down or it's not loading, but there's like 74 or 73 days to go. And these books, the books that you're buying, and T-shirts and posters and whatnot, they're already paid for. And I believe the T-shirts and the posters are already made. I'm pretty sure, but the books will be made soon. Like, they're already at the printer. He's already got a second printing coming with a third cover, right? Because there's 2 covers. I personally, myself personally, non-disclosure, myself personally, I bought the 2 different covers, the first 2 different covers signed, because that's all the money I have right now. I'd buy more. Okay. Now, Everybody's hyping this up. It's done amazingly well, better than anyone could have imagined, especially Rippa himself. Like, again, he put up $100,000 campaign goal. We all knew it was going to do well. Everybody knew it was going to do well who's been following this. However, nobody knew how well. I believe in this amount of time, he's already beaten Keanu Reeves' Berserker book, which was a huge success. Huge success. I think like he hasn't beaten the full amount that I think that made yet. I think that made $2 million. But I mean, in the amount of time, the short amount of time, he's beaten where Keanu Reeves' book was at that time. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, correct me in the chat. But I mean, that's fucking impressive, man. First time comic book writer. First time in this space, really, right? Because I don't think he's never worked in a comic book company before. All right, so he's got two guys working for him. Hold on, I don't know why this isn't working now. Why would it work? Oh, wait, there you go. Okay. So the two guys he's got working for him are veterans Cliff Richards on pencils and Gabe El-Tayyib on color. Okay, and Eric Weathers doing lettering. I've never heard of any of these guys before, but again, full disclosure, I haven't bought a comic book in I don't know how many years, but whenever that Spider-Man comic came out during the Civil War era, when basically what No Way Home was based on, where Peter Parker made everyone forget he was Peter Parker when the world found out he was Peter Parker during Civil War. That's when I checked out of comics. That's when I thought they were getting kind of bad and ridiculous, which is kind of funny because I really liked the No Way Home movie. But as far as the comic books go, that's when I checked out of comics. That's when I stopped buying them. Before then, I bought comics my whole life. I used to spend hundreds of dollars every week on them. They also got way too expensive. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So the fact of the matter is I haven't bought a comic book in years. And I was really, really excited to get these. And while I do have some criticisms on these books and things about them, I'm going to save that for when I have the book in my hand and I can read it and I can go over it and I can get the full feel, for the whole story and the artwork and everything before I give criticisms. I have criticisms. I don't know Eric personally, but he's told people that they're free to criticize his book. Obviously anyone's free to criticize, but I mean, people who like him is free to criticize his book. He expects that because he's not trying to control the narrative of how people feel about it. He's putting it out and he's trying to get by on the merits of the book. And that's an admirable thing to do. Okay. So I will have, again, I'm a fan. I bought the books because I like him. I want to see what he's done. I'm very excited to see where he goes with this. I mean, it's ridiculously blowing up. You can see for yourself, man, how much money the man made in less than 2 days. Okay. In a 48-hour period, the man's made over $1 million. That's mind-blowing on a comic book, man. Hell, let's refresh it. Let's see where we are now. All right, we're about to sing. It's actually about to sing. It's late at night. Okay, so anyway, I should be watching Tuesday Night Main Event right now, but I wanted to get this video out. Now, speaking of this video, why another reason why this is so amazing, and I got to call out Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. I'm not saying he stole my idea, but great minds think alike, and I did make the post first where I compared this book to the Reva lightsaber from Star Wars. Okay, I said early on, I was like, this book is at the time I think it was at $500,000, and I made this post yesterday, and I was like, Reva, Hasbro or whatever, or Star Wars made a lightsaber based on the Reva character from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. And it was a crowdfunding thing, and they had to sell 5,000 of them to meet their goal for them to produce this lightsaber, okay? Star Wars. Star Wars, like one of the biggest franchises ever. Disney fucking Star Wars. Okay, so it couldn't even get 2,000 out of the 5,000. Couldn't get 2,000 fucking lightsabers sold to make this out of the 5,000. Couldn't even get a third of the fucking thing done. That's pathetic. That's how much nobody likes Reva from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. And it's not because she's black, because I got news for you. Eric July is a black man who made a comic book about a black man. Nobody fucking cares. I don't mean they don't care. I mean, nobody's not liking Reva because she's black. Okay, because then the same would apply for Eric July, wouldn't it? Even though the leftists that hate him are calling him all sorts of things, like the N-word with the hard R. You know what I'm saying? They're going out of their way to call him Uncle Tom and an N-word and everything else for a guy who's just putting out a comic book because he's tired of the bullshit. And then they're going to get all racist. They prove themselves the real racists every time. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, so I compared this book from a relatively unknown person. He's not unknown, but I mean, in the industry, he's unknown. That's like saying, I don't know what it's saying. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, Star Wars couldn't sell 5,000 lightsabers, and Eric July in a half day of the first day was over $500,000. Okay? So he was 5 times over his goal, or 500% over his goal in half a day. And 2 days, he's over $1 million. Almost at $1,200,000 in 2 days. Okay, I think tomorrow at 9:30 it'll be 2 days. That's fucking crazy, and that's amazing. And that man should be applauded for that, to get that much done in that short amount of time with never having done anything in the industry before. He's not a big name like Keanu Reeves, and it's already beaten where Keanu Reeves was at this point when he put out his book. And from what I hear, that Keanu Reeves book is really good, so that's pretty fucking amazing. Anyway, I wanted so Jeremy beat me to that. He made that video. I made that tweet first, but he made the video before I could make it, so I can't make that video now. But I did mention, I think it's funny. I'm not calling Jeremy out because, one, he has a bigger fan base, but two, I like Jeremy. I watch these guys. These are the guys that inspired me to freaking do these videos. Okay. Although, Jeremy, if you do see this video, you still have written me back to that email I sent you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting to hear back from you because I put my heart into that email. Anyway, Eric July, Rippaverse. You should check it out. Rippaverse.com. I forget what the Twitter site is for it, but Rippaverse.com. You can buy the comic books. You can buy the posters. You can buy the trading cards. He's got huge trading cards that are like, I forgot what the thing is, but when you move them, they change a little bit. I forget what that's called. Anyway, not reflective, but whatever, it doesn't matter. They're cool. You can see it on the site. Posters, t-shirts, books, 3 different covers. I don't think any of the covers have sold out now because he went to the reserves to pull out the ones that he was going to bring to conventions and stuff so he could sell people more, because nobody expected him to sell this much. I mean, over $1 million in 2 days it's just mind blowing, man. It's amazing. I mean, the dude deserves all the credit in the world, man, and all the continued success. I hope this book does really good. I hope somebody from Marvel and DC sees this and it lights a fire under their ass to stop all the woke bullshit that they're doing and go back to making good things. Ever since Endgame, No Way Home, they're putting up these fucking C-list characters and D fucking movies. That Thor movie was dog shit. A lot of people like the Thor movie better than the Doctor Strange movie, which I find kind of weird, because the way I look at that movie is Sam Raimi brought some good things to that Doctor Strange movie, even though that Doctor Strange movie kind of sucked. Taika Waititi, everything he brought to his movie sucked. All the humor he tried to bring to it just ruined it. So they both were shitty stories from the get-go, but at least Raimi brought his brand of movie making to the movie, and it made it cool, like the zombie shit and the horror aspects of it, and just the Raimi-isms of the movie, and having, his brother and Bruce Campbell in it. Those were all positives to what was a bad movie. But nothing Taika Waititi brought to that damn Thor movie was any good. All his comedy, all his levity during serious moments just made it worse. Made a bad story worse. And the only thing good about that movie was Christian Bale. There's one other good thing about it, but I don't remember. I mean, I love Chris Hemsworth. I think he's great, but they're just making his character goofy and stupid and written poorly, That's all I can say. Anyway, Rippaverse. Go check it out. It's amazing, okay? Please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. It helps my channel grow. I would love to write a comic book myself someday. I have a really good comic book written not written, but idea in my head, just to get the artist that I would need to pull off such a book would break the bank of probably even Eric July, because the art I would need to do the story that I have in my head justice would take a lot. But who knows? If my channel takes off, maybe one day we'll see it. That'd be great, because one of the things I always wanted to do was write my own. I wanted to draw my own comic, but I didn't have enough sequential art talent to do that. I could do pinups, I could do covers. I could never do sequential art. I was very bad at it. I just didn't have the patience for it, and I didn't have the skill for it, honestly. But the writing, I have the story in my head. Maybe you'll see it one day. But in the meantime, please, again, like this video. Smash the like button like the Hulk. Please subscribe to my channel. Please share the video so other people can see it. And more importantly, leave a comment, because that helps the YouTube algorithm make other people see my video. Check out the Rippaverse. You know, it's probably going to hit 2 million at least before. Maybe Ethan Van Sciver was right. Maybe it'll hit 2.5 million before that 75 days is up. I don't know where. You see where it says days to go? It said it had the days up there. Maybe it's because I'm using the OBS browser. I should have used something else. But anyway, next time I'll use the regular browser. I forget how to do that. But anyway, it's like 73 days left. And if you hit 1,200,000, let's refresh it one more time. I want to see if it went up. Come on, man. Oh, there you go. $1,201,000 in less than 2 fucking days. Congratulations, Rippa. Holy shit, the Rippaverse is a success. A success, a wild success, just from that. Holy shit. All right, guys, I'll check y'all next time. Again, smash the like button. Later.